Hey producers, my name is Neil Richey. I live in Riverside, California, here mostly sunny Southern California, and I just wanted to talk to you guys today about why I think I'd be great for to be on the Top Hooker. I'm born and raised here in Southern California. We're outside my home in Riverside, so there might be cars going by. So yeah, just a little bit about me. I'm a respiratory therapist. Just want to tell you guys a little bit about why I want to be on your show, Top Hooker. I've been fishing my whole life. Started out in a little pond just down the street from here with my grandpa, and with some freshwater gear, some really light stuff, fishing for bluegill and baby bass and crappie, that kind of thing. From the age I was 4 and my grandpa showed me how to tie knots and whatnot, I really got into fishing. Got into girls a lot when I was in high school and that kind of thing, but then as I got older, really got back into it and started seriously fishing and getting more into the saltwater realm, leaving the largemouth bass and the stuff of the freshwater, and of course we have our California coast, so there's tons of fishing opportunities there. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm into now as opposed to when I was a kid. I like to collect rods and reels and that kind of stuff. When I say I'm a well-rounded fisherman, most of my experience is with rods and reels. That you'll see that. I've never worked in commercial fishing or anything like that. Done a lot of lobster hoop netting at Catalina Island and for crabs and that kind of stuff. But I want to show you guys the diversity that really comes with fishing with rod and reel. And so I kind of showed you like little ultralight freshwater stuff, and then the next thing I really got into was surf fishing and using heavier spinning gear, big nice 9-foot rods, but still with softer actions and stuff like that. This is like kind of like my carpenter's hammer when it comes to surf fishing. Kind of what I use all the time. Really nice custom rods, good saltwater ready reels, but you don't even need that if you just wanted to go down to the beach for the day and catch a couple fish. Any kind of lighter trout spinning outfit would do just fine. So leaving the freshwater arena into the saltwater arena, and then still progressing in my tackle whoredom, I started getting into bait casting gear, and what I consider myself now is an inshore saltwater bass fisherman, and that's where the majority of my stuff is. So we'll come over here, kind of light to heavy as far as the fishing we're doing. This is a pretty light outfit, small reel, small bait, really light. I think this whole setup is like 8 ounces or something like that. And this is mostly for fishing in like Newport Harbor or Alamitos Bay up in LA, that kind of stuff, for spotted bay bass, one of the smallest of the species of the saltwater bass. I fish, most of my setups are braided line to a short top shot of fluorocarbon, and whatever bait happens to be a spinner bait on here. Just really good in the kelp for calico bass is kind of what I'm into. Low profile bait casters is kind of my forte. Some guys like the round bait casters, conventional stuff for fishing jigs and that kind of thing, and that's fine. We get into big calico bass, deep and heavy structure, and this is a 300 size low profile bait caster, huge, doesn't even fit in your hand. Big knobs, big cranking, heavier string. We're talking 65-pound braid to 40-pound fluorocarbon, and big baits, big 9-inch swim baits. We'll get into jigging, shorter rods but still stouter, bouncing this stuff off the bottom for your rockfish and your lingcod and your halibut, your other species, the exotics if you will. And this is again away from the casting gear into conventional gear, heavier string, all mono, don't need any spectra here per se, and then we're just fishing big torpedoes, 5 to 12 ounce torpedoes with dropper loops with some squid or some cut bait for different rockfish and sculpin, those kind of things. We're gonna take a second over here and look at tackle that I have, all the jigs and the plastics and what they call terminal tackle. Pretty proud of like the stuff I've collected and that kind of stuff. So you can see I have all my terminal tackle, hooks, weights, that kind of thing in here. Small plastics, large plastics, and irons, heavy jigs, light jigs, that kind of thing, and just some miscellaneous like baits and little weights and that kind of thing. And so all of this kind of goes into my tackle box with a good pair of deck boots, a couple of rods, and you could go deep into Mexico and not have any problem catching the yellowtail and the tuna and that kind of thing. So that's it for here. We're gonna go check out another spot. Hey guys, we're just driving a little bit. I know you kind of expect me to just sit in a chair and in my house and like give a spiel or whatnot, but that's not really my style. So we're just gonna go fishing, and I'm gonna show you some of my local holes and just what I do day in, day out here in Southern California. So first spot we're going to is a little freshwater spot here just about 10 minutes down the street from my house where I grew up fishing. We're gonna go to the same place that I was catching bluegill 25 years ago and see if we can catch a little fish, and then we'll head on out. Hey guys, so we're here at Fairmont Park in Riverside, California. This is where I grew up. This little nasty, disgusting mud hole is where I caught my first fish. And it's kind of, it's jump-started that passion that I have, that fishing that's in my blood. And there's this thing we say in fishing, the tug is the drug, you know, like I have a really addictive personality, and some people like drugs or alcohol or whatever, but man, whether it's small little panfish like this or big tuna in Mexico, yellowtail, big calico bass, it really doesn't matter. Just that tug is the drug for me.
Yep.
Cool, so it took a couple minutes, but we finally got a little bluegill. And this is just a prime example. I can come 5 minutes away from my house in about 10 minutes and just catch some fish. And sometimes it's not always that easy, don't get me wrong, but I think this shows you I don't need fancy equipment and all kinds of stuff to catch fish. I love just coming down here and catching these little bluegill. You can catch 30, 50 of them in a day if you spend a lot of time here. And for me, it really doesn't matter if it's a little fish, if it's a big tuna offshore. The tug is the drug for me. We're gonna hit up some saltwater now. Hey producers, I'm here in Newport Harbor now, just doing a little bit of spotty fishing. We're in this spot in Newport Harbor, pretty productive spot generally, but right now the tide's going out and there's not a whole lot of tidal movement, and with inshore bass fishing, saltwater bass fishing, tides make the difference in current and water movement. The whole point of that is to get to fish that are further out. I'm pretty competitive, especially when it comes to people who think they're necessarily better than me or that kind of stuff. That just gets my water boiling pretty good as far as fishing competition. So you get me in this competitive nature that I already have, and then you put something that I love to do, and some guy with some big boat, some big wallet, some spear fisherman who thinks he's hardcore comes at me, try to tell me he's gonna win a challenge. That's not gonna happen. I don't back down. I can act timid sometimes, but as soon as the pressure is on, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be up front. I'm gonna be winning. Once you have me come down to LA and we see each other face to face, we talk a little bit more. You'll see that that's pretty evident in my life. So we're gonna get back to fishing. Hopefully, catch a couple spotties to get on film and that kind of thing. And we'll talk to you guys later.